I was 4 years older than Liam Carter. He chased me for 6 long years before I finally agreed to marry him, a match most would say I married down for. He'd adored me like I hung the moon, swearing he'd love me and only me for the rest of his life. Then I overheard him talking to his friend. Women go downhill fast once they hit 30. Scarlett's beautiful, sure, but she's already got fine lines crinkling at her eyes. Can barely bring myself to touch her these days. She reeks of that burnt-out corporate drone vibe. Nothing like the wildcats out there, fresh, wild, and electric. Liam Carter. Cheat once, and you're done for good. I wouldn't throw my entire life away just for 7 years of history. Liam stumbled home at 2 a.m. He stood by the bed watching me for a minute, then grabbed his cigarettes and headed back out. I wasn't asleep. I got up and went to the living room. Through the curtains, I heard him complaining to someone on the phone. Thank God she's out cold. I was dreading her hitting me up for duty sex. Don't even want to touch her right now. Pretty as she is, once a woman hits 30, she just feels used up and gross. Besides, the wildcat I'm seeing can barely get enough as it is. I got nothing left for her. If I hadn't heard it with my own ears, I never would have believed such cruel words could come from the same man who'd always doted on me so tenderly. We hadn't slept in the same bed for 2 months. Liam had been so busy lately, working late almost every night, leaving town on business trips every other week. He said he didn't want to wake me, so he'd taken to crashing in the study. I'd been stupid enough to think he was being thoughtful, looking out for me. Turns out he was just repulsed by me. He didn't love me anymore. While he was in the shower, I picked up his phone. His passcode had been my birthday for years, never changed. Not once. At the top of his messages was a chat with a cartoon cat as the profile picture. Their thread was almost empty, save for a single message she'd sent not long before. I love you too. 4 simple words. And my hands wouldn't stop shaking. So this was his wildcat. I tapped into her social media feed. Her banner photo was a cheek-to-cheek shot with Liam. Only half his face was visible, but I'd know him anywhere. The girl had soft pink makeup on, grinning with crinkles at the corners of her eyes, young, pretty, exactly what he'd been craving. Her feed was full of posts. The latest went up at 10 that same night. 2 hands laced together, resting on crisp white sheets. The kind of photo that makes your mind wander. And on the man's finger the exact ring I'd slipped onto Liam's hand on our wedding day. I didn't have time to hurt. I scrolled down fast. On May 20th, a casual romantic holiday popular with young couples, where round-numbered gifts carry a playful I love you, meaning she'd posted a bouquet of flowers and a screenshot of a 5,200 transfer. Gonna be a long night. He's gonna wear me out. I remembered that day clearly. I'd booked a candlelit dinner to mark the occasion with Liam, but he'd called last minute to say he had to leave town for an urgent business trip. Her endless couple posts blurred together, one after another. My gaze finally landed on April 1st. The photo showed her collarbone, marked with a fresh, dark hickey. He's finally all mine. I thought back. That was the exact day Liam had stopped touching me. I took screenshots of every transfer between them, saving every last piece of evidence. Then I put his phone back exactly where I'd found it and went back to the bedroom to sleep. The next morning, Liam woke me with a kiss. Half asleep, I remembered everything he'd said the night before. Nausea rose in my throat, and I pushed him away. He didn't notice a thing. Morning, babe. Breakfast's ready, all your favorites. He pinched my cheek fondly. I've got stuff to handle at the office, so I'm heading out. His voice was just as soft and warm as it had always been. After he left, I stared at the hot food and milk on the table, and my mind drifted back 7 years. I'd first met Liam on his freshman move-in day. A student rushing past had knocked his suitcase open, sending clothes and belongings spilling across the sidewalk. I'd helped him pick everything up and walked him to his dorm. I'd thought that would be the end of it, but for the next 3 months, I ran into him everywhere on campus. Every single time, he'd greet me with that sweet smile and call me senior. Once, at a morning assembly, I'd passed out from low blood sugar. I'd skipped breakfast after sleeping in. Liam had been the one to carry me to the campus health center. After that, he showed up outside my dorm every single morning with breakfast in hand. My roommate used to tease me non-stop about it. Come on, he's young, hot, and totally head over heels for you. Why not just give him a shot? I'd shake my head. For years was too big an age gap. Dating a younger guy never appealed to me. When I graduated and started working, he'd wait for me outside my office building every day he didn't have class, still calling me senior. Same as he did back on campus. On weekends, he'd come over to my rental apartment and cook for me. Every time I told him to give up, he'd put on that kicked puppy look. Senior, don't send me away. I just want to take care of you. 6 years of him doting on me, wearing me down. I finally caved. Liam once said he'd make me breakfast every single day for the rest of our lives. Look at that. So thoughtful, so devoted. His heart's long gone. But he still remembers the promise. If it weren't for the photos of him and that wildcat, the screenshots of all those transfers sitting in my phone, I'd have thought last night was nothing but a terrible dream. That night, Liam came home on time for once. He blinked at the empty dining table, then smiled. Let's eat out tonight. There's this new trendy spot everyone's posting about. I cut him off with a shake of my head. I already ate. That's when he noticed the half-eaten bowl of instant noodles on the coffee table. He feigned annoyance. Junk food's terrible for your skin. You want to turn into an old lady before your time. I'd just turned 30. To 26-year-old Liam, that probably was ancient. I gave a thin smile. Old is old. Doesn't matter to me anymore. Liam laughed and wrapped an arm around my waist, pulling me close. You'll always be my girl, no matter how old you get. He leaned in to kiss me. I could feel the heat rolling off him, sharp and hungry. I turned my face away, calm and steady. I'm tired. Not tonight. Liam froze. I could tell he was annoyed, but he bit his tongue and held it in. While I was washing dishes in the kitchen, he took a call. A minute later, he grabbed his jacket off the couch. Emergency at work. I've gotta head in. Don't wait up for me. I'd just gotten into bed after my shower when my phone rang, an unknown local number. I answered, and there was only silence on the other end. I thought it was a prank call and was about to hang up when I heard Liam's voice. Miss me that much? Huh, only been a day. A girl's voice purred. Playful and petulant. It sucks knowing you're gonna go home to that old woman later. There was the wet, breathy sound of kissing. Liam's voice dropped, rough with desire. Not going home tonight, but don't you go begging me to stop later. Their dirty talk and endless little games left me stunned. Thankfully, I'd hit record the second I recognized Liam's voice. Later, I searched the number on a social media app. Just as I'd expected, it was the wildcat Liam was keeping on the side. I sent her a friend request. She accepted almost immediately. She knew exactly who I was. She'd been dying to gloat. When I got to the office the next morning, a bouquet of flowers and a food delivery were waiting for me. Sent by Liam. He called right after. Hey, babe. Got called out of town last minute for work. Won't be home for a few days. Ordered you that pork rice porridge you love. Eat it while it's hot. Okay. Ma'am. I hung up and scrolled through social media on instinct. Sure enough, the wildcat had posted too. A spread of fancy breakfast. Captioned, the person who makes you breakfast every morning must really love you. Once, I'd thought Liam only loved me. A coworker leaned over my desk, cooing over the flowers. Where do you find a husband that sweet and romantic? Everyone thought I'd married way up by landing him. He was young, ambitious, well off, going places, but I wasn't doing bad for myself. I'd been the campus beauty back in school, top of my class. After graduation, I'd worked my way into a leading industry giant and climbed the ranks on my own merit. I nodded at the flowers. You like 'em? They're yours. Her eyes went wide. Ms. Bennett, are you serious? I smiled. Take them, and throw this food out for me. Would you? This fake, performative affection, Scarlett Bennett, wanted no part of it. From the Wildcats' non-stop posts, I tracked every move they made those days. Liam took her to Disneyland, watched the fireworks with her, even rented her an apartment near the university. I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel sad. I just saved every last piece of evidence of his cheating. Liam reached out again 3 later. Babe, I found this amazing Japanese place. Gotta take you sometime. I almost laughed. He'd just taken his wildcat there, and now he was thinking of me. Was I supposed to be flattered? I didn't call him out. I just feigned surprise. You're back in Harbor City. He paused. Then laughed. Not yet. A coworker recommended it. Just wanted to mention it. When are you coming home? His voice perked up. Excited. You miss me. I'll be back tonight. I made a non-committal hum. Truth was, while Liam had been off on his business trip, I'd already moved out of that so-called home. I owned a small condo in the city, a graduation gift from my parents. So when Liam walked in all excited and found the place empty, he got mad. Scarlett, do you know what time it is? Why aren't you home? Oh, I'm out of town for work. He ground his teeth. Why didn't you tell me this morning? Right, if I'd told him, he probably would have extended his own business trip a few more days with his wildcat. They only assigned it this afternoon. He huffed. Can you make it back tomorrow night? Why? Jake's birthday. We're all going out for drinks. Tell Jake I can't make it. Fine. His tone gave nothing away. Text me before you get back. I'll come pick you up. Okay. That same night, the wildcat sent me a photo out of nowhere. A fluffy stuffed rabbit. From my bed, I swallowed down the wave of disgust, pulled up the divorce papers I'd already drafted, and read through them one more time, making a few edits. The next night, she sent another photo. It was Jake and a whole group of people, guys and girls. Liam had brought her to the party. Right after came a taunting message. You're really just gonna sit there and take it, huh, sis? I smirked to myself, grabbed my bag, and headed out. Let's see what face you make when you see me. Liam Carter. When I got to the bar, I ducked into the bathroom to touch up my makeup. No matter what, I was going to look put together. I'd just finished applying lipstick when a girl burst in. Harried and clumsy, her foot slipped. She almost went down. I reached out and caught her on instinct. She pressed a hand to her chest, all wide-eyed and flustered, and thanked me. So this was her. I narrowed my eyes slightly. Liam's wildcat. She stared at me for a second. Your lipstick shade is so pretty. I never posted selfies online. My profile picture was just a landscape. No wonder she didn't recognize me. She chattered away. Friendly and bright. I'm here with my boyfriend. Are you here with yours? I shook my head. Alone. She winked. Then you better watch yourself. A girl as pretty as you. Gonna get hit on by all kinds of players. I tucked my hair behind one ear. Thanks for the warning. Her gaze landed on the bracelet on my wrist, and her eyes lit up. Oh wow, that bracelet is gorgeous. Where'd you get it? I'm gonna make my boyfriend buy me one. She really was a lively, sweet-talking thing. No wonder Liam couldn't stay away from her. I slipped the bracelet off. You can have it. She looked stunned, delighted. Really? That's so nice of you. Ma'am. Got tired of wearing it. She didn't question it. She slipped it on her own wrist and preened in the mirror. That bracelet had been expensive. It was the first thing Liam ever bought me with his first real paycheck. I'd worn it every day for 5 years. Something I'd once treasured. Like it was priceless now. Throwing it away, I realized nothing was truly impossible to let go of. The wildcat was still gushing over it, pouting for selfies in the mirror. I slipped out of the bathroom quietly. Outside their usual private booth, I could hear the conversation through the door. Dude, you mess around all you want, but why'd you bring your side piece here? Liam sounded exasperated. She begged to come. What was I supposed to do? Spoiling her rotten. Huh, better not get caught fooling around by Scarlett. Liam went quiet for a beat, then scoffed. Who doesn't like a fun, lively girl? Besides, Scarlett's 30 already. My fingers trembled. Once, Liam had held me tight like I was something fragile, and told me with complete sincerity, in my eyes, you'll always be my pretty, perfect girl. I promise I'll only ever love you. Just then, the wildcat came back from the bathroom. She lit up when she saw me. Hey, we meet again. She pushed open the booth door, threw her arms around Liam's neck, and whined, babe. That girl in the bathroom gave me the prettiest bracelet look. The fond smile on Liam's face froze the second he saw the bracelet she was waving around. He looked up, panicked, and locked eyes with me where I leaned against the doorframe. In the same breath, he shoved the girl off him. Mia, go home, now. So her name was Mia. The air in the booth went dead still. Jake and the others exchanged awkward glances. Then Jake stepped in to smooth things over. Scarlett, listen. This is all a misunderstanding. Let Liam explain. I just smiled at Liam. He snapped at the girl beside him, low and sharp. Didn't you hear me? Leave. The girl was something else, though, now that she knew who I was. She didn't run off with her tail between her legs. She just huddled behind Liam like a scared little wildcat. She looked at me, all wide-eyed and panicking on the surface, but there was a sly, triumphant glint in her eyes. I'd underestimated her. She'd probably seen my photo on Liam's phone a dozen times. That whole run-in in the bathroom, it had been staged. No need for her to leave. Mia and I go way back, don't we? I raised an eyebrow at her. Mia's face flickered with panic. She looked straight to Liam, putting on her best innocent, wronged act. Liam pulled himself together fast. Scarlett, whatever you've got to say it to me. Mia's just a kid. Don't scare her. Wow, real protective of her, wasn't he? I didn't waste time arguing. I got straight to the point. I just need you to sign this. I pulled the divorce papers out of my bag and handed them to him. His hand shook, but he tried to play it cool. Jake panicked too. Scarlett, don't do this rashly. Liam's just drunk. I shook my head. They've been seeing each other for 2 months. Jake couldn't lie his way out of that one. Liam stared at me, voice rough. You knew this whole time, and you just acted like nothing was wrong. What? Did he expect me to scream and yell and call him names? Beg him to stay? I tugged at the corner of my mouth. His face darkened. So that business trip of yours was fake. You set me up. Jake grabbed Liam's arm, signaling him to shut up. But I didn't let it slide. Liam, you're the one who cheated. You're the one in the wrong here. What do you have to feel sorry for yourself about? Liam's jaw tightened. He didn't even read the papers. He just flipped to the last page and signed his name. Then he took Mia's hand. Let's go. They strode out of the booth. Jake jumped up to go after him, but I stopped him. I knew Liam. He was arrogant and proud. Hated losing, especially in front of his friends. That's exactly why I'd chosen to confront him tonight. Pride would make him agree to the divorce, even if he didn't want to. It went smoother than I'd expected. No screaming, no begging, just a signature. And it was done. Over the next 2 days, Mia kept sending me photos of her and Liam. I ignored all of them. Why hadn't I blocked her yet? Because Liam might have signed the papers. But we hadn't gone to the county clerk's office yet. It wasn't official. More evidence of his cheating. The more, the better. One night, she sent me a photo of them drinking at a bar. I figured if Liam was out, I could swing by the house and grab some things. But when I unlocked the front door, there was Liam, sitting alone in the dark, looking worn out. Wasn't he supposed to be out partying with Mia? Well, we'd run into each other. No point hiding. I'm just here to get some stuff. He looked up at me, voice hoarse. Do we really have to get divorced? I gave him a curious look. You already signed. I packed up my things and came back out, ready to leave. Liam called my name. I broke it off with her. So, can we not get divorced? He pressed something cold into my palm. I opened my hand. It was the bracelet. He'd gotten it back from Mia. Scarlett, please, forgive me. Just this once. He didn't look like he was lying. I could tell he'd been having a rough time of it lately. But what did that have to do with me? I spoke calmly, evenly. Liam, I told you once. Cheat once. And you're done for good. So let's pick a time soon. Go to the clerk's office and finalize this. I dropped the bracelet straight into the trash by the front door. No hesitation. I didn't look back once as I left. What I didn't expect was for Mia to show up at my work. Friday evening. Right as I was leaving the office, someone ran up and blocked my way. Mia's eyes were red and puffy, looking every bit the poor, wronged victim. Please, just let us be together. I stared, confused. Hadn't I already stepped aside? You're so much older than him. Why do you have to hold on so tight? I almost laughed. I was holding on to Liam. So Liam had broken up with her, and she was panicking. Those photos from the past few days. She'd probably dug up old ones and staged the whole thing. She didn't care about the crowd gathering around us. She sobbed louder, putting on a show. You have money. You have a great career. Why do you have to steal my boyfriend from me? A college student. Now I actually laughed. She knew full well he was married and still threw herself at him. And now she was playing the victim, trying to ruin my reputation. I spoke cool and steady. Mia, do your professors and classmates know you're sleeping with a married man? All the color drained from her face. You're a pretty good actress, though. Makes sense. Being a theater major. My mockery threw her off balance. She ran off with her tail between her legs. That night, Liam called me. Furious. I admit I messed up, but I broke it off with her. Why'd you have to go and do that? I hummed, amused. Oh, do what? Exactly. You threatened her. Said you'd tell her school about us. She's still a student. You'll ruin her life. I already apologized. This isn't her fault. Can't you just let it go? I smiled. No. Clever as she thought she was. She was also stupid. She posted everything online. I'd seen her class location tags, with her name. Finding out everything about her was easy. The next day, I filed a lawsuit against Mia. All those transfer records and chat logs were proof. Every dollar Liam had sent her was marital property. She was going to pay back every cent that belonged to me. 3 days later, Liam showed up at my door. He was angry and defeated all at once. Fine. I'll go to the clerk's office with you. Happy now? I raised an eyebrow. Good. Let's go now. The paperwork went smoothly. Liam didn't argue with a single line of the property settlement. When we walked out of the county clerk's office, Liam's face was thunderous. You really will stop at nothing to force a divorce, won't you? I turned to face him. It hit me then that he wasn't nearly as smart as I'd thought. Mia told you I sued her just to make you go through with the divorce. He glowered. Wasn't that the point? I sighed. I just called her bluff. That's all. And you fell for it. His expression shifted. What's that supposed to mean? I smiled. No point keeping it from him anymore. I forwarded him all the taunting messages and photos Mia had sent me, including that phone call from the very first night. Tell Mia I said thanks. By the way, she gathered so much evidence for me, got me the best possible settlement. Don't be late for the final signing next month. I got in my car and drove off without a backward glance. I never dropped the lawsuit against Mia. She'd earned every consequence coming her way. I'd given her a chance. I would have let it go. But she kept pushing, kept taunting, kept pushing her luck. I'd never been a particularly forgiving person. It wasn't long before Mia paid back every cent, whether she'd scraped it together herself or someone else had given it to her. I didn't care. Liam tried to see me again and again, always begging for forgiveness. Said he'd lost his mind. Said he'd just been looking for a thrill. Said I was the only one he'd ever loved. Said he had no idea Mia had been taunting me first. Said he'd been tricked by her innocent act. I spoke coldly. You still cheated. That's a fact. And shifting the blame now. It's pathetic. A week later, the company had a team dinner. I was in a good mood, so I had a few drinks. Noah Ellis, a new intern, drove me home. I thanked him when we got to my building, and that's when Liam stepped out of the shadows. Having been waiting for me downstairs, he didn't even stop to think. He marched right up and confronted me. So this is why you left me. Noah was new. He had no idea I'd been married. No idea we were getting divorced. He thought Liam was some creep harassing me. So he stepped in front of me. Protective. It's okay, Ms. Bennett. I've got you. I almost laughed. That impulsive, defensive energy, it reminded me of Liam. Back when we were young. Back when I'd first started working. A sleazy client executive had hit on me. He'd cornered me after work. Insisted I come drinking with him to talk business. I'd said no, again and again, but he'd grabbed my wrist and tried to shove me into his car. I'd been terrified. And Liam, just a kid picking me up from work, had stepped in. He was only 20 back then, young, green, but fearless. He'd stepped right in front of me, just like Noah was doing now. Touch her again and I'm calling the cops. Old man, he'd gotten me out of there. Afterward, he'd grinned at me and said, "Don't worry, senior, I've got you." For the first time in my life, I'd felt completely safe. Please, Liam sneered at Noah, dismissive. You have no idea who I am to her. His voice yanked me back to the present. I sighed. I spoke gently, diffusing the tense standoff. Noah, he's just a friend. We've got a misunderstanding. You can head home. Noah still looked worried. You sure you're okay? I smiled. I'm fine. Thanks for the ride. Text me when you get inside. Okay, just so I know you're safe. I nodded. He drove off. Liam's voice was low. Tight. Who is he? I looked at him, smiled faintly. New intern at the company. Cute, right? 10 years younger than me. Liam took it as confirmation. His face darkened. You can't trust some kid like that. He's just gonna hurt you. I laughed harder. Teasing, like you did. He went quiet, face twisting. I mimicked the tone he'd used in the booth that night. Sharp and scoffing. Who doesn't like a hot young guy? You're 26. After all. Liam's fists clenched. He was holding on by a thread. So this is revenge. You're doing this to get back at me. I shook my head. Liam, you're so full of yourself. You cheated first. You betrayed us. Now you're so desperate to pin the same thing on me, just to make yourself feel less guilty, if that helps you sleep at night. Sure, let's go with that. I turned to leave. Liam panicked. Scarlett, I trust you. I've always trusted you. My voice was cold. Once, I trusted you too. After a long silence, he spoke, voice raw. I'm sorry, I messed up. I know I did, but please 7 years, can't you give me one more chance? I broke it off with Mia for good. I swear I'll never talk to her again. She promised she won't bother you anymore either. Can't we just pretend none of this happened? We were so happy before. His eyes reddened, glistening with tears. I thought back to 2 years ago, the day he'd proposed. 24 years old, crying happy tears, said he'd liked me since the first day he saw me. Freshman year, said I was the only thing on his mind, said every single thing he did was to make me smile, said he'd tried for 6 years, even when I kept turning him down. 6 years that finally paid off. He'd cried from happiness. I thought he probably was sorry. Right now, truly regretful, but he didn't get it. Mia wasn't the only reason I'd fallen out of love with him. I took a deep breath. Liam, I'm 4 years older than you. He stared at me, tense, like he was waiting for a verdict. I'm 30 now. Once a woman hits 30, she gets fine lines, used up and gross, can barely stand to touch her. The hope drained from his eyes, leaving only defeat. My voice stayed steady, cold. When you said those things about me, Liam, do you have any idea how disgusting you made me feel? You're the one who chased me. You're the one who swore age didn't matter, that you only loved me. I never forced you. I never asked for anything. All of it was your choice. But then you cheated on me, and you talked about me like I was garbage. Liam, you make me sick. This time, when I left, he didn't run after me. The month was up. On the day we were supposed to finalize the divorce, I couldn't get a hold of Liam. Jake called me, said Liam had taken too many sleeping pills, that he'd just been rushed to the hospital to get his stomach pumped. Told me to get there fast. I showed up at the hospital room. Liam lay in the bed, pale and weak, half delirious. He kept muttering my name. Jake handed me an empty pill bottle, said Liam had just gotten out of emergency treatment, still wasn't fully conscious, said he'd stopped by Liam's place that morning to grab some files, found the front door unlocked, found Liam passed out on the couch. Empty pill bottle at his side. Couldn't wake him up no matter what he did. Got him here just in time. He's gonna be okay. Jake glanced at me, gentle. He really is sorry, Scarlett. He can't stand losing you. I thanked Jake and told him to head out. That I'd stay with Liam for a while. After he left, I sat down in the chair by the bed, picked up an apple, and started peeling it slow and steady. I finished peeling right as Liam's eyes fluttered open. He saw me, and his pale face crumpled, voice thin and weak. You came. Baby. The thought of living without you. I can't do it. I need you. He sounded so sincere, tears in his eyes. I cut the apple into slices and held one to his mouth. He lit up, relieved. See, you still care about me. He took a bite. After he'd eaten 2 slices, I spoke slowly, calmly. You just got your stomach pumped. You're not supposed to eat anything for 24 hours. Didn't the doctor tell you that? Liam froze. The apple sat half chewed in his mouth. I kept going. I asked a friend who works here before I showed up. Only 3 stomach pumping cases came through this morning. And all were women. One of my best friends worked at this hospital. Besides, I picked up the empty pill bottle from the nightstand. Didn't you swap all the sleeping pills in this bottle for vitamin C yourself? Earlier that year, I'd been stressed about a promotion. Had trouble sleeping. I'd asked my friend to prescribe me sleeping pills. I'd only taken them for 2 days before Liam had a fit about it. Said sleeping pills were addictive, bad for you. Later, I'd found out he'd swapped them all out for vitamin C. I'd known then. I'd never said anything, because I knew he'd been looking out for me, but now he was using that same bottle to try and guilt-trip me into taking him back. I stood up. Liam panicked. He sat straight up and grabbed my hand. Scarlett, I'm sorry, I just didn't want to lose you. His voice was desperate. I know I messed up. I was just being an idiot, trying to save face. That's why I said all that stuff on the phone. I didn't mean any of it. I just lost my head for a minute. I found her student ID. That's how we met. She reminded me of you. Back when we were in college. And she kept throwing herself at me. I didn't handle it right. Jake found out about us that night. I was just trying to look cool in front of him. That's why I said all that garbage. I never thought any of it about you. Not really. I listened quietly. Now I knew the whole story. But Liam, everyone has to own the things they say and the things they do. I pried his fingers off my wrist. Gentle but firm. My voice was steady. If we don't get divorced, every time I look at you, I'll just feel dirty, disgusted. All the things you did. All the things you said, they'll play in my head every single day, over and over, making me sicker and sicker, and I'll just end up hating you more. Is that what you want, Liam, for me to hate you more every day? Liam went silent. I sighed. If you're feeling well enough, let's go finalize the divorce. This time, he didn't make excuses. He threw back the covers, got up, put his shoes on. The drive from the hospital to the county clerk's office. Liam didn't say a word. We got our divorce decrees finalized without a hitch. When we walked outside, he finally spoke. Can we still be friends? I didn't hesitate. No, there's no friendship after something like this. Besides, he stood up straighter, listening like his life depended on it. I put in for a transfer to another branch. I'm leaving Harbor City this week. Goodbye, Liam. I'd walked a long way away when I heard him yell behind me, voice raw and shaking, like he was screaming with every ounce of strength he had. Scarlett, I'm sorry. I'll wait for you. I'll wait forever. I didn't turn around. I just lifted one hand and waved. Soft and final. My life only moves forward, towards something better. Liam's side of the story. The second year of our marriage, things started going wrong in the bedroom. She was gunning for a promotion. Stressed out of her mind, always working. She was distant, distracted with me. I tried so hard to be understanding, to be patient, but the frustration just built and built, tight and restless in my chest. That weekend, I'd asked her to see the new romance movie everyone was talking about. I'd even booked a romantic hotel room for after. Wanted to surprise her, help her relax. 2 minutes before the movie started, she texted to say she had to work late, couldn't make it. She apologized over the phone. But I was still mad, still disappointed. I ended up sitting through the whole movie alone, bored and dejected. 10 minutes in, a college girl slid into the empty seat next to me and asked if she could sit there. She was wearing a white dress, long hair, big eyes. The theater was dark, the light flickering across her face, and for a second she reminded me of Scarlett, back when we were in college. I nodded. It's not like Scarlett was coming. The seat was empty anyway. After the movie, I waited till most people had left before standing up. That's when I saw a student ID lying on the seat next to me. The ID photo showed a girl with soft features, a small smile. Looking closer, she didn't look anything like Scarlett, but she was cute, in a girl next door way. Later, I went to her campus, found her, and gave the ID back. I thought that'd be the end of it, but she asked for my number. A couple days later, Mia called me. Said she wanted to buy me dinner to say thanks. Scarlett was out of town on business that night. I didn't feel like cooking for myself, so I said yes. She took me to a street food market near campus, dragging me from stall to stall for spicy skewers simmered in numbing chili broth. Back in college, I used to eat street food all the time. As we got older, Scarlett got more careful about what we ate, more focused on nutrition. I hadn't been to a place like this in years. Hanging out with Mia, I felt younger again, like I was back in school. She was lively, naive, a little clumsy, got sauce all over her cheek and didn't even notice. I wiped it off for her. We started talking more. She'd text me every day, tell me about her classes, her life. At first, I didn't think anything of it. Just a kid to chat with, pass the time. Then one day, Mia confessed her feelings for me. I knew right then it had gone too far. I told her I was married, that nothing could ever happen between us. I even deleted her number, cut her off cold. April Fool's Day. She called me, said she was in a hotel room, said she'd slit her wrists, said if I didn't come, she'd die. I could have called the cops. I could have sent a friend, but I went myself. I knew she was probably lying. I'd figured as much. April Fool's Day. What are the odds? I just gave myself an excuse to see her. Mia threw her arms around me, begged me not to leave, begged me to stay with her. I didn't stop her. One time turned into two, turned into three. I knew it was wrong, but I kept going back. Kept betraying Scarlett. Every night I came home to her. I hated myself. I tried to end it with Mia again and again, but she always found a way to pull me back in. I was in too deep. I lived with the guilt of what I was doing to Scarlett, and chased the thrill of being with Mia. Then one night, Jake caught us. I panicked. I was too proud to admit I'd messed up. Too proud to look like the bad guy, so I blamed it all on Scarlett. Said she was 30 now, said she was old, said I was bored of her. The second I said those cruel, nasty things, I regretted them. That's why I made her breakfast the next morning, then left for work early. I couldn't stand to look at her. I spent the whole day distracted, thinking. I'd been so busy chasing a thrill, I'd forgotten to take care of her. I decided I was done. I was gonna end things with Mia for good. Be a husband to Scarlett again. I went home early that night. Tried to be affectionate with her. We hadn't even hugged in 2 months. I'd missed her so bad, but she pushed me away. That's when I got mad. I was trying to fix things, and she was acting cold and distant. Then Mia texted again, mostly out of spite. I left the house, fell right back into the rush of sneaking around. After a few days of that, I missed Scarlett again, came home all excited. And she was gone. Said she was on a business trip. She always told me her travel plans ahead of time. I was frustrated, bitter, angry. I brought Mia back to the house. We had wild, frantic sex in our bed, and I pretended it was Scarlett, over and over. I told myself I'd end this messed up, twisted affair before Scarlett found out. But nothing stays a secret forever. The second Scarlett showed up at that booth door, I knew I'd lost her forever. Hey there. Could you rate this story in the comments? Use a scale of 1 to 10. Please, I am begging you. It really means a lot to me. And if you like this kind of content, don't forget to hit follow.